Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are here, my guess is that you want to make more money online, but maybe you don't have a large following and you feel like that is holding you back from making more money online, or maybe you haven't gotten started because you feel like you need a large following to make money online. And so I'm here to completely debunk that because I've helped hundreds of clients of mine make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars online in their business with having anywhere from 800 followers to 5,000 followers. And of course, some of them a lot more than that, but my most successful clients have actually had less followers. So I want to break down this misconception and maybe help you understand why a lot of people believe this to be true about building an online business and what you actually need if you want to build a successful online business without having a massive following. So let's dive into today's video. So don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe that the more people that have eyeballs on your content and your content is produced well in a way that helps you monetize, it is absolutely going to help you make more money. But I think there is a massive misconception that more followers directly equals more money. Now, I will tell you guys, I've been behind the curtain of what it looks like to be an influencer. I think a lot of people think that influencers have a lot of money, they share a lot of the highlight reels, and I'm not throwing any shade at all, but as someone who's seen behind the curtain, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Sure, it's awesome to have a big following because you have access, you get to meet a lot of cool people, maybe you get some awesome brand deals, but at the end of the day, the majority of the impact that you're going to make comes from when you sell a product and a service online. And just because someone's an influencer with a large following doesn't mean that they're going to make more sales. Now, I think another thing is people think just because they have more eyeballs that they're going to make more money on their product and service. But the truth is that just because you have more people watching you doesn't mean that they're actually going to buy from you. What we really need to look at is how do we not just put out content that's motivational and inspirational, but how do we put out content that helps us build connection and relationships to the people in our audience to the point where they want to give us their hard-earned dollars, right? And there's a lot of other people in your niche. One thing to think about too is not everybody wants to work with someone or buy from somebody who has a super large following. Some people might want to work with someone who's actually more intimate or has a less, populated group or a less populated cohort or service that they provide with a smaller community that has more intimacy. So that's another thing to think about as well. So I think this brings around a lot of misconception because people think that they'll make more money, the more followers they do have, but that's just simply not the truth. The truth is that the more you build relationships with the people inside of your audience, the more money that you are likely to make because those people are more likely to buy from you than anybody else, even the people who have larger followings. Now, another thing to think about too is I think a lot of people look at people who have large followings and they automatically give those people credibility, but that doesn't mean that they're the best at what they do. What I truly look for when I'm looking for mentorship or coaches or service providers is I'm looking for somebody who's really good at what they do. I don't care how large their social media following is. If they're gonna get me results and if they're the vibe of the kind of person that I personally wanna work with, that's who I'm going with. So I also want you guys to think about that part as well. Now, let's talk about what it really does take if you want to build an awesome business that's profitable without having a large following. So I do think that having a large following and growing your following over time should be a goal of yours, but here's what I think you first need to focus on. So the first thing is looking at how do you grow your following in a specific niche. If you're a service provider, if you're a coach, you want to work inside of a specific niche that draws people in that are likely to actually buy the services or the product that you are providing or that you are wanting to sell. When you work inside of a niche, you have a more likely ability to be able to resonate with those people, to be the standout person and to actually build relationships with those people. If you think about it, if you have 1,000 followers and you sell 1,000 followers a $100 product, you've already made 6 figures, right? You've made $100,000. And so it's not necessarily about having a massive audience. It's about going deeper with the people who are in your current audience to be able to sell to them. When you start to expand in your niche, yes, you'll also grow your following, but it'll be growing in a niche where you can connect to more people, you can build relationships with those people, and they're more likely to invest in you because they're actually invested in the content that you are producing. The second thing is knowing your ideal client and knowing what kind of services that they want to provide. When you're building content, I find a lot of people try to build inspirational content or content that has virality, and while that might go viral, you're not necessarily going to be bringing in people that are ideal to purchase the service or the offer that you have. And so I've had plenty of videos myself go viral when I was a fitness influencer, and let me just tell you guys, there were so many people who were like hey, I want to buy $2 worth of coaching or $20 worth of coaching. And yes, there were a lot of people like that, but they weren't necessarily ideal for my $2,500 coaching package, right? And so you bring in a lot of people that aren't necessarily ideal for what you want to sell them into to make a bigger impact. And so it's important to know your ideal client, and it's more important to produce content that's going to speak to them, speak to their soul, and have them calling in to like, holy crap, I have to work with this person because they understand me, right? It's not necessarily just about going viral and bringing in more people, it's going deeper with the people that you already have inside of your audience. So the second thing is knowing your ideal client and knowing how to speak to them. The third is having an offer or a service that people in your niche and your audience actually want to buy. Like, especially nowadays, guys, there are so many people who are putting out products and services that are, I'm just gonna say it, they're half-assed, okay? They're just half-assed. Offer something that your audience absolutely needs. What's their means to an end? What's the solution that you can create for them? There are plenty of influencers who don't even have a product or an offer or a service, and that's why they're not able to monetize on their following. So you can have a small following, and when you have an awesome offer or an awesome product, you're able to get more people to come into your ecosystem. You're able to get more people who want to buy from you because they're seeing the results, they're seeing the impact that you're making, and they want to work with somebody who has credibility from a social proof standpoint, or from a standpoint of you've already gotten a lot of people results, people are speaking about it, and now you have credibility on a deeper level. Not just with people who see a large following that want that dopamine spike and want to work with someone who has credibility from a large following, but they want to work with somebody who's actually got the social proof to back that they can get people results. And then the last thing, I've already touched on this a bunch throughout the last few points that I've made, but build a connection and relationship to people, and then you're going to be able to pollinate the group and the service that you are providing. For example, if you're getting more people results because you have an awesome offer, it's in a niche audience, they're gonna start talking to people, they're gonna start referring people into your program, and so now you're gonna be making more sales. You're also probably gonna be expanding your community, your network, and gaining more followers. So the cool part about all of this is that you're going deeper with the people already in your audience. You're able to actually sell them the offer that you are providing, and you're able to get people who know, like, and trust you, not just people that are following a bunch of different influencers or just following you because you inspire them or you motivate them, but they're following you because they want to work with you. They're following you because they want to give you their hard-earned money, which is saying a lot about them, right? And so when you're looking at building a business, rather than focusing on trying to build a massive following, I want you to focus on how you can build a better relationship with the people already in your audience and the people that are coming into your audience. There's this massive misconception that you need a big audience to make a lot of money online, and it's simply not the truth. But the truth is that when you build credibility from getting people results, getting more people into your offer, and being the industry leader inside of your niche, then you'll start to make a bigger impact. And the cool part is because you're building more credibility, more people are starting to hear about you, you're making a bigger impact. Inevitably, over time, your content is probably going to help support growing more of your following. So it is great to have a larger following. It's great to have more eyeballs on you, but you want to have more eyeballs on you and more people in your following that you can connect to, and that eventually maybe want to go deeper with you, buy from you, or buy your services. And don't get me wrong, it's great to have people on your page who don't necessarily want to buy your services, but are going to hype you up and are going to continue to get value from your content. There's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want to make a bigger impact, it comes down to you being able to help somebody on a deeper level through your product and your service. So don't get down on yourself if you feel like you need a large following to start, or if you feel like you need a larger following to make a bigger impact. Yes, you'll reach more people at some point, but focus on going deeper rather than going wider first. And I promise you, over time, you'll be going deeper and wider with all the people in your audience. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you've been struggling with this, or if you want to learn more about how to sell to your audience or how to create content in a way that speaks more to your ideal client, I have plenty of videos over on my channel, so you guys can go and check those out. I hope you guys found this really helpful. I will catch you guys in the next video.